At what point do you feel imposter syndrome the most? Is it when you're at work? Is it being a parent? Is it social life? Like, at what point does that strike?
I remember one time I was in a meeting and I was literally Googling under the table on my phone, like, what the heck? Like, they're talking about ROIs, like, I know what that means.
I hate thinking about what my kids will grow up having be their, litmus test to things or their sounding board on things. Like, no.
Welcome to What Even Is This, the podcast that recognizes life's a mess, so let's talk about it. I am Jane, and joining me as always is my co-host Jordan. What's up, Jordan?
Nothing much. I'm doing great. And by great, I mean I confidently answered a question at work today and immediately thought, who let me talk in meetings? And I shouldn't be allowed to have opinions this early in the day.
Honestly, I feel a lot the same way. Today's episode is for anyone who has ever stared at their calendar like it's a prank, because we're talking about something that we all feel, but nobody says out loud enough, okay? I hear a lot of people talk about it, but really, no one knows what they're doing, okay? Let's just get it out there on the table.
Yeah.
Life's messy and we don't know how to handle it. We don't know how to deal with it. And so let's just figure it out together.
Yeah. I mean, your boss doesn't know. The moms who are packing those bento boxes that look like Instagram.
I hate
Pinstagram. Pinstagram. Did you hear me? Pinterest, Pinstagram. Hey,
I think
something.
that could be a coined term. I like that, Pinstagram.
Exactly.
Because it feels the same.
Here we go. I'm winging it. I don't know what I'm doing. But you know what I mean? The moms that the kids show up at school and they've got the little perfect stars and whatever. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing. Pinterest told them what to do. So, again, the woman that's got the skincare routine and a retirement plan versus I will speak for me. Maybe we're just out here. We're just guessing with confidence sometimes. And, maybe sometimes we got mascara in our eye or something because we don't have that skincare routine.
No, I surely don't. I probably at my age should probably implement one, but
Same.
I just can't pull that trigger yet. But listener, if you have ever had that moment of I am a full adult, why do I feel like I'm pretending? Welcome. You're in the right place because neither do we. We feel like we're pretending all the time.
So, and here's the thing, before we dive into it's a spiraling existential truth, I believe, that we're about ready to dip our toes in.
Yes. Amen.
I think we start out with a little humor when we talk about this kind of stuff, which is, why we have the segment, What Even Is That? Which is where I am bringing some things that are unhinged from the internet, and you're going to make sense of it with me because we're moms and we're not pop culture experts. And I mean, I'm sure my kids would say it shows sometimes. So
honestly, deeply, painfully, it's true. My kids say the same thing, and I'm starting to feel like my nickname is Cringe. Okay, it's just cringe, mom.
Well, all right. So today's internet chaos is basically a group project called Imposter Syndrome.
I love it.
And let's be real, none of us asked to be assigned, but we're all here. So my first little corner of the internet that I'm going to bring is, all of these corners that I'm going to talk about today, they're all in the we're just winging it building.
Okay.
And, and I think though, here's the thing, every single little nugget of humor that I found, it kind of felt comforting. I could relate to all of it, which I didn't love that I could, but I could. So probably the first one that I found, I went, okay, is, I don't know if you saw, this kind of was going around on Reels, which we've talked about this. It's probably on TikTok
I can
for a little while. Yeah.
I have not.
Okay. Well, let me blow your mind.
Yes, please.
So there was this trend that was going on where it was saying, adulthood is mostly just whispering, what the heck is going on? Meaning oh, this is great. What the heck is going on? So it's I don't know. I get it. And it's, school spirit week or Slack pings or pediatrician portals. these things that you just kind of get put on your plate and it's like, oh, come on, you can do this. And you're going, what? Huh?
Yep.
What? And you just got to wing it. You know, you just got to go, okay, sure.
You got to learn how to roll through the punches. It makes me think of, okay, no lie, in our house, my middle child, his catchphrase is, what is going on? And it's with that gusto, like just what is going on? And he's a kid that feels so deeply about life and he's trying to figure it out like all of us are. And he thinks, we blew his mind the other day when he was like, you know everything, right? And I said, oh, Patrick, I know so little.
Oh, sweetie.
Oh, sweetie, I know nothing. And he's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, we're just all trying to figure it out. So I probably like shook his worldview a little bit, but like, it's just funny when chaos happens amidst him and he can't handle it. His outburst is, what is going on? And I'm like,
oh,
same.
Yeah.
The way I whisper, what is happening? While confidently folding tiny socks or trying to pick things up. Or right now we got an elderly dog that we have to constantly kind of grab her back end to help her walk down the stairs to go to the bathroom outside. I kind of just look around like, okay, what's happening?
Yeah. So, I mean, essentially, sometimes I feel like we're running logistics for a small nation and we have zero training. So know that if you feel that way, you're absolutely not alone in feeling that way. So,
no, absolutely not. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
You know, so whisper what the heck is going on. No one will judge you. I promise. We won't. I mean, I don't know why Jane's laughing. I won't.
We listen and we don't judge. That's one that stuck. That's one that stuck.
See?
Yeah.
There you go. My job is done. Okay, so that was that one. Now the next one, this one like super resonated with me. And this one I actually found the other day. So it was this reel that I found of an author who's been writing a book for about a year. And I think it's some kind of like a nonfiction because she's got like, she's doing layout edits and she's got picture placement that she's worrying about. And, you know, I am an author, so I get it. I was like, oh yeah, I understand the editing process. It's worse than writing a lot of times. So I was watching this going, oh, I get it. And anyway, so the entire point of this reel was that she had gotten an email from her publisher who it was kind of not a vague email, but it was very like short and to the point. And, you know, hey, attached is like, I don't even think they called it edit. I think it was like communication or, you know, something like that. And so the whole point of her reel was that she was sitting here going, yeah, I don't know that I can open this email because I think all of this is going to be is just a Word document with you suck.
Oh my gosh.
Really big letters. And then maybe underneath it and like centered, you owe us our money back. Like underneath it. And she's like, because that's just what my brain is telling me. And, you know, like, that's just my default is I see that and I go, oh no. And I just went, oh yeah, yeah. And again, that speaks to the imposter syndrome that we're going to be talking about where and I mean, maybe we've talked about this or maybe you and I have just personally talked about this, but that my brain anticipates failing. So a lot of the times I don't even know that I should probably call it imposter syndrome, but to me, I'm going, well, I already know it's not going to work because I know I can't do that. So I know, well, you know, and I'm like doing like 3 different backup plans for when I know it's going to fail. So when she was sitting there going like, I'm just not going to open the email. I'm like, that would be a plan. That would be the thing that I would do. So yeah, there you go. And it's a short and sweet one this time, but I think we could probably find 1 million of those on social media or, you know, just even talking to people and getting like their imposter syndrome stories. Like it's everywhere. And it's funny because we know it's everywhere, right? But then it's a very lonely feeling also because you think you're the only one that feels it. So it's just, we'll unpack it. But that was, you know, what I've brought to the table today. And essentially, you know, the internet just decided we're all pretending, we're all overwhelmed, and effortless as a performance. So like, you know, there you go. So all of that to say, we are now brought to today's question, which Jane will lovingly pitch to all of us.
I feel like there needs to be like a drum roll here or something. Yes, Jordan, the big old question that we have for you today, guys, is what even is this belief that we're supposed to have it all figured out? Like, where in our timeline did this question get inserted? Like, I don't even know. Like, I think I have certain moments of my life where I can pinpoint, like, oh, that was a moment where, like, I wasn't good enough, or I'm not worthy to be in this person's presence, or fill in the blank, whatever imposter syndrome lie that is being whispered into you. Like, where did this happen? Who, I don't know if you ever like think about, like I said, my son thinks that parents are in charge and know everything. And then it just rocked his world when he was like, oh, wait, you don't know? Like, it's like, who let us be in charge, Like, who said that you are now ready to be an adult? You turned 18 years old and nobody gave us a manual for figuring it out. It's, the whole life experience thing and all that. So anyway, I could go on and on and on, but let's talk about this moment that you realize that you're the adult in the room and it feels illegal. I don't know. Like, what do you think?
Yeah. Well, and it's, and it's like, why am I allowed to make medical decisions and sign permission slips and like make life choices for other people?
But it's like happening.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I've called the pediatrician and they asked for like my birthday for some reason. And I go, what? So like, it's kind of one of those like, wait, no, why do I have the keys?
I was born in the 1900s. That's why.
The late 1900s. Yeah.
The late 1900s.
You want to set me off? Start talking about that.
Let's do it.
No. All right. So we have this overarching topic that we're going to talk about. So for the first question that I want to kind of pose to you, and I really am curious to hear your thoughts.
Okay.
Like we said, everybody has dealt with imposter syndrome. So we all have stories. So for you, I would love to know at what point do you feel imposter syndrome the most? Is it when you're at work? Is it being a parent? Is it social life? Like, at what point does that strike?
I would definitely say in the workplace. It's interesting. I kind of had this conversation with a friend earlier today because part of my work story is in my early 20s. I worked at a radio station. Things got really bad there culture-wise, and it was just very evident I needed to leave. So I leapt to a receptionist job at a dentist office for like a year. And then it made sense financially for my husband and I for me to stay home full-time when we started having kids. So I was out of the workplace for 8 years. Okay.
Oh, wow.
8 years felt like a lifetime in itself. And I did a lot of growth during that period, but it wasn't until my friend who I made along the way that hired me, who offered me a job out of nowhere. Like was not looking to go back into the workplace at that time. Quite honestly, I didn't feel like I had much to offer because I'd been out for 8 years. And she was like, nope, I see a lot of talent, a lot of leadership in you, and I want you on my team. And so that was my step through the door. And I feel like I've been on this journey, and it's at this point, I'm in like year 4 or 5. No, 5. I'm in year 5 of this journey. And so much has happened, like with my job and my work. But I remember in the beginning stages, like, God bless these women who were the leaders I was following. They very much also took a mentorship role with me because I'm like, they're like, we need you to brush up your resume. And I'm like, what are the standards for like a resume? Like, it's been years since I've had to do that. And so like, that was like a step. And I remember one of my mentors, like kind of like being like, I will help you. Like, let me help you do this. And I felt like I'm in my early 30s and I was starting to compare myself to my friends who were working for big corporate companies, and they were on track to be management and leadership. And so they knew all these things. And here I am, which was the most hilarious thing, this newbie in the workplace again, working for a faith at work organization. So here I'm going to be like encouraging women in the workplace, but I felt like I didn't have any workplace experience to offer. And that was a lie I had to wrestle my way through. And I had a lot of voices speak into that along the way that encouraged me and helped me feel like I wasn't alone. But I will say even 5 years into it, I still kind of feel that way because I'm in like circles of people who have launched successful businesses, and I'm in a leadership group with men and women, and a lot of them are entrepreneurs. Some of them are longtime big corporate people who have retired there or who resigned to launch their own thing, but they had this big network, and they talk in like abbreviations like, can we stop using ROIs and KPIs? And I remember one time I was in a meeting and I was literally Googling under the table on my phone, like, what the heck? Like, they're talking about ROIs, like, I know what that means. Like, or KPI was the big one for me. I excused myself to go to the bathroom, and I went and I Googled it because I was like, I had no idea. Because that was the key piece we were all talking about in our small group time together. And I was like,
That's
oh my
funny.
gosh, I feel a lot of times when I'm in stuff like that or like networking situations, I really do fake it till I make it. Like, I've become this persona outside of myself. Like, I got to just try and work through this, but I feel like I have nothing to offer here. And I know that's not true, but I don't know. That's kind of what gets me spinning and spiraling, Jordan. I don't know. What about you? Is there a specific area of your life where you wrestle with imposter syndrome the most?
The whole thing would probably be my answer.
Okay.
It's just, I mean, yeah, I mean, because I can think of things that have happened in every single one of those 3 buckets that I mentioned. So
Yeah.
I don't know though. I mean, because I mean, we've said this before. We're both the eldest daughters, so I get to a point where I'm feeling the imposter syndrome, but then I'm also feeling the intense urge that I've got to just fake it. So because I can't see, can't let somebody see me failing. So it's like, I know I have something telling me that I am failing, and then I have something telling me like, too bad. So like, you got to just keep going. So I feel like I deal with it all the time, and I don't know. I mean, I would say probably work. I mean, and I think, and this maybe also is just because of the nature of the work that I do, but a lot of what I do is not forward facing. So I don't know. I feel like I know I probably do like self-diminish what I do, but I think that feeds into it a little bit for me. And, when somebody goes, oh, well, you can do blah, 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 I'm going, no, I can't. And it's like, well, I mean, yeah, actually, I guess I probably could, but like, I just don't, you know what I mean? So I don't know. I mean, I got confidence issues too. So I think I got a lot of stuff going on with me, but, I don't know, and as you were sitting here talking about stuff, and especially talking about like, the friends that, they went on to do things like, I don't know. I'm thinking like the millennial generation, which is what you and I are, like maybe the one prior to us potentially was starting to deal with us. But I think we really are the ones that are like heavily dealing with imposter syndrome. And I'm wondering if it's because we have had so much change, and it's like constant, right? Like we have seen so many things emerge. We've seen so many things reinvent themselves. Like, so we kind of just are always in this like catch up phase. So at least that's what I feel like is like, I master something, and then it's like, oh, well, next week it's going to be something totally different. So, haha, that's funny when you think you're an expert in it. Versus our parents, what did they really have that was, revolutionizing anything and changing the world? Like, I feel like we change the world every 2 weeks. So like, I don't know. I feel like it's just the nature of the beast in a way. Like, I don't know how else we would be feeling, because it's very uneasy, or that's not the right word, but I don't know. There's so much change going on around us all the time that, like, who in their right mind would sit here and go, oh yeah, I can do all that. Like, no, you can't. So, hey, you know what? Maybe imposter syndrome is us being honest to a tiny little bit of a degree, because we're all sitting here going like, no, I can't do that, because like, no, we really actually maybe can't do that. Like, I don't know. But again, this could be my brain. This could be the way that I process things. This could be me just, trying to not sound insane. But I don't know.
Oh,
But yeah,
Jordan.
to answer your question, I mean, little bit of everything. I will say, and I don't know why this is the case, but parenting, maybe that would be the least. Time that it's the wrong phrasing, but like, I deal with it the least when I'm thinking about parenting, because I don't know. I feel like parenting of work and parenting and social life and, whatever, parenting is a thing that is the most like human nature, I guess. So in a way I'm going, okay, yeah, I know I feel like I can't do this, but like, I'm alive. My could do it. So like, I can do it. It's fine. And it is, you just got to keep them alive, and you got to make sure that they become good human beings. So, you'll figure it out. It's kind of how I feel. I don't know.
There's a woman I work with, and she's expecting her first child, and so we're going to be doing like a surprise baby shower, virtual baby shower, because I work for like a hybrid organization, and most of our team is across the United States. And it's a surprise, but this episode is going to air after the fact. So, but we are being asked to write advice for the new mom.
Oh no!
And I don't know how it was for you.
Yeah.
But the transition from no kids to one was awful for me. Like, I felt like I was living in an identity crisis as to like, because you go from the single individual person to an individual person in charge of a life that is fully dependent on you for survival, which that feels like a very heavy load to carry. So I think like my advice for her is going to be, it's okay to cry. It's okay to go into your closet and shut the door and cry, because you're not going to know. Like, you're not going to know. No, you're going to have wise women hopefully surrounding you, like whether that's your mom or your mother-in-law or whoever's in your life, whatever your family looks like, hopefully that are encouraging and speaking into that. But like, I don't know. Then you just become an accidental expert in the area because of the life experience you have. And I think somehow if we could translate that to other facets of our life, I don't know. I just kind of just
You're
wonder
onto
about
something.
that. Anyway, I don't know. We'll coin that. But so Jordan, another, as we kind of spiral over this idea of imposter syndrome and just those unhinged moments, do you have like an example of what your most unhinged, I don't know what I'm even doing moment, but you still had to act like you did? Do you have any examples of those?
See, this is going to be bad because of where we're talking about this, but podcast.
Oh, say more.
Yeah. So one of the organizations that I work with launched or decided that they wanted to launch a podcast about 6 or 7 years ago. And it was, granted, I think podcasts have been around for like a little bit longer than then, but it was like, oh, this is, we should have one because we put out content, right? We do blogs and email newsletter, so we were connecting with the audience, but it was becoming very apparent that podcasts were, the way to start going. And I was the content department. Like, so if it was going to happen, it was going to have to happen through me, kind of a thing. And So I had to learn everything, and I YouTubed the crap out of that. And
Yep.
my husband thankfully has like a little bit of audio video experience at the time. He's got more now, but like at the time, he's like, yeah, I mean, I can research like mics, and, we can figure out, the equipment side of things, and you can figure out the technology side of things. So the whole entire time I'm sitting there going, I hate this. Like, this is not going to work. Like I have so much riding on me, and, and I think I have an intense fear of failure. So that was constantly going through my head too. And it was kind of one of those things where, this is like, I don't like conflict, and I don't like going into something and not knowing the outcome, which is most of the time. So welcome to my miserable life. But I don't know. It was one of those moments where I went, okay, you know what? I've been asked to do this, and there's got to be a reason why I've been asked to do this. And I obviously at this point do not understand what that reason is, but this is in my lap. This is on my to-do list, and I got to do it. And it was for sure a fake it till you make it kind of situation, because the first episode that we recorded it on Zoom, which bless you if you do that, but like that's not the way to go.
Nope. And please don't do Zoom.
Yeah, please don't. Now we know, but yeah, it just, and I probably to this day would not be able to go back and listen to like at least the first like 5 episodes that I ever put out of something, because it's like, I can hear myself reading. I can hear all of the things that I'm sitting there going like, well, yeah, this is why you can't do this. This is why you shouldn't have been given this product, blah, blah, blah. But 5-6 years, seasons later, it became, kind of just one of those things that I could do. And I, at least in my life, like I think that's been something I should probably just automatically notice when I have something that comes to me that is seemingly very unhinged. I should just be able to now tell myself like, well, you know what, probably give it some time, and then this is going to be something that you can just do. So because and again, this could be a personality thing, but I think I get challenged, right? Like, you get posed something that seems like there's no way in anywhere that I'm going to be able to do this, or like, why is somebody trusting me with this? And, at least for me, I hate it. You can ask my husband. I complain about it the whole time. I sit there and go, this is stupid. I can't do this. Blah, blah, like whiny little baby the whole time. And then, it gets released out into the world. And then I go, oh, okay. It's not that bad. I have to eat my words a little bit. So, yeah, that again, I feel real bad saying that on my podcast now. That's like podcasting.
You shouldn't feel bad.
I know.
What I hope the listeners are gathering from this is what, it's affirming, because I think what I'm getting from what you just shared is we need to figure out a way for us to be okay with being a beginner. Because what does that mean when we begin something?
Yeah.
I know I'm guilty of this. I saw a reel, and I've seen memes and stuff that say this, like, don't compare your beginning to someone else's middle or beyond, because while we may look at other podcasters and go like, oh, I really want to be like that one. It's good to have heroes. It's good to have people that we look up to, and also like, I don't know. If we want to get biblical, I keep coming back to like Jesus feeding the 5,000. It's such a resource heavy story of like, what did he use? And people will say, oh, he's the Son of God, and so of course he could do this. But what did he use? He used 5 loaves of bread. Don't at me if that's wrong. But then like 2 fish. Okay.
Yeah.
And he was able to feed with the resources that this child brought to the table. And I'm so convicted of that when I really wrestle with imposter syndrome, because when it gets bad, I end up talking myself out of the thing that I feel like I'm being called to do. And I'm not saying that that's always the thing that snaps me out of it, but I keep coming back to like, what are the resources that I have? If it's only Zoom, start with Zoom. It's okay. We won't judge you too much.
We
Okay.
won't
But
shame
like,
you. Yeah.
you know, I mean,
Yeah.
like I would say even, you know, for me, Jordan, similarly, in the podcasting world, when I was interviewing for my current role as a podcast producer for a fairly well-known podcast, the questions that they asked me, I remember in the interview was, how technically savvy are you? Because we are looking for whoever fills this role to be the tech expert in the room. Like when you're in the studio and things go awry, are you comfortable to like play with the tech or figure out what's wrong with the tech? And I remember sitting there going, gosh, I am by no means an expert. I would say my understanding is intermediate. And here's why it's intermediate, Jordan. When I started dipping my toe into the podcast pond with earlier podcasts, and I resonate, like I hate going back to those because I was so inexperienced and like I sound so fake, and I had the teleprompter going so slow because I was scared I was going to miss something. But it was through those long productions that I did myself, because I didn't have a team, I learned how to set up a camera. I learned how to connect my microphone. And like, it was all these baby steps that have built up to this moment where I realized, you know what? Every expert has Google. So if I don't know what's going on, I'm going to Google it and I'm going to figure it out. But yeah, I feel like when we wrestle with this idea of just like, oh, I'm not good enough, or like, this is really hard, like it builds resilience and grit in us, right? Because I look back upon where I came from and where I am today, and I wouldn't say I've like arrived, but I'm utilizing skills I didn't even know I would need in this current role way back in the day when it was just like, I just got to do it. You know, you got to snap out of it somehow and just be like, I just got to do this thing. So
yeah. I mean, and I think too, when you made the comment about everybody is a beginner at some point. I think that's touching into how much access we have into people's lives right now, and how beautified people can make their lives look, when in reality, like they didn't just roll out of bed and put together that reel. Like it's been years that they've been building up to that, or it's, you know, So I think that's another thing too, that again, our parents did not have to deal with. They didn't have social media.
Well, this is true.
You know, I mean, they had like the cliques at school, or, you know, whatever, maybe that was their social media. It was like, you know, the cool kids or whatever. But I mean, it's so much worse and it's just getting worse. You know, I mean, like I hate thinking about what my kids will grow up having be their, you know, litmus test to things, or their sounding board on things. Like So when you said that, I was like, oh, well, yeah, that's because, you know, we think we're experts on everything because everybody else seems like they're experts on everything, when in reality, no, they're not, probably. So
no, it's true. Well, in light of that, Jordan, I want to wrap up our conversation around this with this one final question, because I think we're really calling this out and like really just trying to settle in with you, listener, just on this idea of imposter syndrome and how it affects us. What do you think changes when we normalize that nobody knows truly what they are doing? It's becoming more evident to me over time, but I'm curious to you what you see gets normalized once we call that out.
Yeah. I mean, I think, you know, less shame, right? More honesty. I mean, I think if we all level the playing field, like there's nothing to be ashamed of if literally everyone else is right there with you. And I think more humility too. I think that's a big thing, is that being humble and asking for help is seen as a weakness a lot of the time. And So I think, and I think it's because we're all struggling with the imposter syndrome side of things. And, you know, I think that's a big one. And I think too, you know, a lot of self-trust would come out. And, you know, and it's the idea of, I mean, kind of like my podcast story, like you can learn in motion, like you can start something and not be an expert in it. And, you know, because we all started somewhere. So like,
well, exactly.
You know,
Well, and I saw a YouTube short the other day from a creator that has inspired me over the years. And she really was like a catalyst for me to like even try. But she's been posting these prompts lately of like, I'm just going to give you, 28 prompts for you to do because you just need to get on this platform. And the only thing that is different between you and me is I'm on here and you're not.
Yeah.
And that type of language, like we need to keep talking to ourselves like that because the more I am in rooms, and I'm in rooms now with like executive leadership pretty often as the podcast producer, and just listening to their humanity come out when we're just chit-chatting in between waiting for a guest to show up and hearing the, I'm actually really nervous to talk to this really smart person. What if I don't have anything interesting to say? And I'm like, oh my gosh, you founded an organization, Here's a story for you. I used to babysit for a family at our church. Their kids have since grown. Like the two oldest ones are almost fully launched into the world. Their youngest is like almost there. She's like midway through high school. But the oldest, he was a fiery little 3-year-old. Okay. Like he said things that would just stop you in your tracks. And they would drop them off at my in-laws' house when I had like first moved here, and we would babysit them so that mom and dad could go have a date night. And one of the times my father-in-law loved torturing these kids. Like he had these like rubber masks of old presidents and stuff, like Halloween masks, and like would hide in the dark basement and come out scaring and stuff. And the younger brother was really scared, like petrified. And the oldest was like, no, you need to go down. You can do it. Steve is just a man. And that moment happened, and we talk and we laugh about that moment so often, but that little 3-year-old didn't know it, but he was like discipling me because I was, that was
touching
right
on
in
some things.
He was. Well, hey, I was in the midst of like this cruddy culture in the radio station I was working at, and I was working for people who constantly made me question whether I was doing a good job or not. And I know I have a lot of trauma that needs to still unpack in counseling for that. But I remember I was going through something. I forget specifically what the situation was, but I remember, you know what? Right. Steve is just a man. Steve is just a man. And so I just remember I had to go in and have a hard conversation. I'm like, they're just a person like I'm a person.
Yeah.
So when people start getting in their heads like that, I tell them that story. Listener, maybe that was fruitful for you. I don't know, but they put their pants on just like you every day.
Exactly.
Except when I put mine on, I make gold records. So anyway, no, just kidding. SNL. But anyway, so, well, whew, what a spiral.
I know, right?
Great job, Jordan. I'm really proud of us. I think we're coming out of this knowing, we don't need to be perfect. We just need permission to be a beginner. Even at 39, I'm approaching my 40th birthday, and I don't like admitting that. But I know. But even as a mom, even as a professional, it's okay to be a beginner. And that means you will make mistakes. You will fail. But that's how we've learned. So I don't know. I think those are some great takeaways for us today.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, and I feel like we've established like we're all winging it. And, some people are just winging it with better lighting.
Which means it's time for our next segment, friends. What even is happening? AKA real life chaos from real life moms. So,
the
friends,
best kind of chaos.
Yes, it is the best kind of chaos. It's time for your favorite segment of mine. What even is happening? It's where we get to read your chaotic, messy life or downright unhinged life moments. Sometimes we get to share, but Jordan, did anybody share anything with us?
They did. So we have a couple that came in, and the first one comes
awesome.
actually from, it comes from Amanda in Ohio. And Amanda, I need you to know that I laughed and then immediately felt it in my soul when I read this.
Oh boy.
So here we go. Yes, buckle up. Here we go. So she wrote in, I packed my daughter's lunch, felt very proud, and then realized at drop off that I had packed my lunch in her lunchbox. So she got my sad adult salad and I got a baggie of goldfish and a yogurt tube. But you know what? We both survived, which is, the best outcome for that. It's just surviving.
I mean, the way that's actually a fair trade, though, like, you know, in lunchroom culture, the whole trading culture, which I don't know how they do it at your kids' school, but my kids have told me they're not allowed to trade. It's probably because of food allergies and stuff. But like they put the kibosh on that. There was a whole hierarchy in the lunchroom. I'll tell you what. But
funny.
I hear it if I mix up my kids' lunches. Like, I don't like Cheetos, and I don't like Cool Ranch Doritos, and all the things. So
I
know. But goldfish, goldfish hits.
Right? Exactly. I mean, and Amanda, here's the thing. I mean, I don't really view that as a fail. I kind of view that as like resource redistribution. Like, we'll just get corporate with it. Yeah. So
look at you and the corporate jargon. I like that, Jordan.
There you go.
I mean, I mean, I don't know. It's like late stage capitalism in a lunchbox. So good for you, girl. Good for you.
Exactly. All right. Number 2. This one is from Brittany, and she DM'd us at 11:47 p.m. Which, I mean, let's be real. Exactly. That's the correct time to confess your chaos. Like, that's what I feel. Anyway, so this is what she wrote in. She said, I walked into my office kitchen, saw a crock pot, and thought, oh, fun. Someone brought chili. Spoiler, it was my crock pot. I brought it yesterday for a potluck that I did not attend because I forgot. So I have been slowly cooking a mystery meat for 24 hours for absolutely no reason. What?
Oh my head. That is like the most working mom scenario I've ever heard in my life. Like, if I don't do the thing right away that pops into my brain, it's gone. It just goes. If it doesn't go in a Post-it note, if it doesn't get logged somewhere, it goes. And it's like her brain was like, I did a responsible thing and then immediately deleted the file. That happens to me all the time. All the time.
I mean, and like I can imagine a coworker there being like, "What? Why is there a crock pot that's humming like some haunted appliance in the office kitchen?" So,
Well, and why didn't someone unplug it? We're a team. Be a team player. Like, just pull the plug. Oh my gosh, Brittany, I need you to know that if you ever need an alibi, you can call us. Okay, like it is not your fault. It is not your fault. Your team should have had your back.
Exactly. All right, last one. So this one is short but devastating, and it is from Tasha in Texas. So she wrote in,
okay,
I told my kid to hold please because I'm on so many work calls that I forgot I wasn't actually at work. And so he said, okay, and started humming elevator music. Something my kid would do. Like,
I'm just thinking the same thing. One of my kids, he's like trying out like the jokester persona right now. Like, we're in middle school, so we're trying out different things, and like he says things and they're actually funny zingers, and like it stops me in my tracks, and he's like, I'm so funny. So like that just sounds like something he would do, and I'd be like, shut up.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I mean, and here's the thing, the fact that he like actually complied to that too, like that's a parenting win. Like you've got a real snarky child, but you also got a real obedient child.
Yep. It's like the perfect combination of a firstborn. Like, it's that kind of kid who's going to send you a calendar invite to ask for a snack. Like respect, man. Respect.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh, Jordan. Those were great messages
Thank you
sent us. Thank you. We are just so thrilled that you're joining the conversation with us. Yeah. This is what we're trying to do here, building this community where we talk about how life's a mess. Let's talk about it. Because when we do that, you feel less alone.
Yeah.
So, Jordan, I think that's a wrap on today's spiral.
I think so.
So, friends, if you've got a chaotic moment that made you say, what even is happening? We want to hear it. Slide into our DMs. You can email us at the email address on the screen, or you can check it out in our show notes below. We actually check that inbox. So
we do.
So please send us your what even is happening moments to us. Yeah. So please, let's continue this conversation.
Exactly. I mean, and if you've been walking around feeling like you are the only one who doesn't know what you're doing, consider this your official reminder. Literally no one knows. And some people just speak in full sentences about it.
Yeah, because life doesn't come with a manual. It comes with a lot of tabs open, a mild sense of panic, and the occasional win that you forget to celebrate. Let's stop doing that, okay? Like,
Please.
Come on.
Please. Yeah, exactly. And like we said, I feel like over and over, let's normalize being a beginner. Normalize asking for help and normalize doing the next right thing, even if you're not 100% sure.
That's right. And it doesn't even have to be like the next right thing. Like, just do the next thing.
Yeah.
Just do
Take
the
the
next
next step.
thing. You don't know if it's right or wrong. Just do it. Just do it. Well, friends, don't forget to subscribe, follow, say hi to us on social. We love seeing your faces, hearing your stories, and knowing we're not the only ones spiraling through the chaos. Because life is messy.
Chaos is real, and none of us have it all figured out.
And that's exactly why we're here. Because
what even is this?